I just want to acknowledge Esther and Jerry and everyone in this auditorium for co-creating this experience with me. Thank you.
We are all in this together. It's great fun, isn't it? Yes. Co-creating at its best, truly.
And this may be a selfish question, but
Get in there a little closer to that, yes.
This may be a selfish question, but I truly desire your broad perspective on
wait,
this.
this may be a selfish question, but?
And?
Are you apologizing for your innately selfish nature from which you view the universe that is of enormous value to all of us? So, we want to hear pride in your selfishness.
Yes, ma'am.
Something went terribly wrong in all of that.
Okay, my question. I'm an actor, and as a person, I definitely get the whole downstream and aligning with that energy. And as an actor, I'm creating a whole nother life. I'm taking on another person.
No, you're not. You're just an actor pretending.
Okay, so that energy does not go out in the same way that I send it out?
Of course not.
Okay.
Well, if you are a drunk in the street and they say, oh, she'd be perfect for our drunken role, and they drag you in and give you lines, it could impact your experience. But if you are an actor who knows that you have the ability to pretend something, it's far different than being when you are an actor on top of the world, you have on top of the world vibration. And we know actors say, no, I have to really put myself into the role, and I have to pretend that I am there. And we say, but you always know that you are on top of the world pretending that you are there. Big difference in vibration.
So the universe knows that I'm pretending.
There's not anything wrong with letting it be known to all of them that you prefer to play the roles of one who is tuned in, tapped in, turned on.
That's true.
In other words, you could choose all of that, and maybe you'll play some of those other roles to determine that that's really what you are looking for. But do not worry about it. There is a big difference between actually feeling despair and playing the role of someone who is supposed to be in despair. Because you can play the role of despair, and then everyone will cheer about how well you did, and you're not feeling despair. You're feeling their appreciation about your ability to pretend something.
So the energy that I'm sending out, playing the role, the universe understands is pretending.
Well, also, not only does the universe understand it, but you are emitting it in that way. In other words, you cannot emit the vibration of someone other than who you are. You cannot do it.
Okay.
So now if you were to say to us, I'm going to apply for a role of someone who lives a wretched life, and the role, they're not going to do the casting for a year. So during the next year, I'm going to live as wretched of life as I can so that I'll have a better chance of being chosen. We say that could negatively affect your experience, but that's an extreme that no actor goes through. You see the difference?
Yes, I do. Just one more question, if I may.
There are actors that would take issue with that, who would say, no, I really, really, really put myself into the role. And we say, all right, we'll give you that. You've disconnected from your stream of well-being, let's say, to play this role. But you are far more who you are as source energy, who you've been in your life, who you are even in relationship to this role is a much bigger part of your point of attraction than this small aspect of your life experience. So just keep it in balance. Okay. There are actors who say, I cannot be believable unless I really get into the role. And even during the breaks, I try to maintain the attitude of my character so that I do. And we say, just your statement that you're trying to maintain the attitude of your character means you know that you are not your character.
Right. I understand.
So ones that don't have to practice it that you want to worry about.
And my other question is, in doing what makes me happy and what I'm passionate about and being in my stream, how do I coordinate that with being married to somebody else that has another passion and doing what they love and creating an interdependence as opposed to just doing what I want to do?
Well, what you do, you live your life and you let your life call from it what you want. So let's say that you are passionate about your acting, and so you are throwing that over into vibrational escrow. In other words, sometimes you get the job you want, sometimes you don't. You're living and thinking about it, and your vibrational escrow is amassing relative to it. And then let's say you get a job and it takes a lot of your time, and your partner is feeling jealous or missing you or wishing that you weren't doing it, and you feel that your relationship is being jeopardized by your passion. Well, during that contrasting experience of knowing what you don't want, you're throwing more into vibrational escrow that says, I want to find a way to make this work. I want to be able to find things that work with what I'm doing. I want my mate to be more understanding. I want him to get excited about what he's doing. I want our life to work together. I want the universe to bring the resources to me to make it possible for me to do all things. I want to get better at not depending so much on my action. I want to use the leverage of thought and energy more. And so everything that's a little ripple in your relationship, you're throwing something into vibrational escrow. And now, as you are excited about your work, you are flowing downstream for the receiving of all of these things that you want. Where if you're worrying about what your partner is doing or thinking, now you're upstream from everything that you want in your vibrational escrow. We like to tell it this way. So there are two people who seem to want two different things. So she is thinking about what she wants and feeling good about it and in alignment with it, and the universe is delivering it. And he is thinking about what he wants and in alignment with it, and the universe is bringing it. And now they're saying, but let's do this together. So now she is saying, well, I want this, but he wants that. So now she's not only thinking about what she wants, she's worrying about what he wants that seems different. So now she's not a match to what she wants. And he is worrying about what she's doing or wanting, so he's not a match to what he wants either. So now neither one of them are a match to what they want. So neither one of them are getting what they want, and they're both blaming each other. When all either one of them would have to do is be a match to what they want, you see. You don't have to factor the others in. You just have to factor in your alignment with Source, and your alignment with Source will factor the others in. But if you try to do the factoring instead of the aligning, you're going to be out of balance and you won't be able to sort it out. So the attitude that you have is, if I stay tuned in, tapped, if I love him even though he's jealous, or if I love him even though he's misbehaving, or if I love him even though he's being demanding irrationally, or if I love him even though if I keep turning myself downstream, now I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Now I'm in alignment not only with who I am, but with everything I want, which includes a wonderful relationship with him. In other words, you don't let whatever the other is doing be your excuse to not connect with who you are and go to everything that you want. You see how it works?
Yes.
So then you begin to discover that you are both much broader and deeper, with more capacity to explore and expand than you had ever known. And your level of appreciation for one another grows deeper and richer because of the variety of what you have about. We really want you to know that two people coming together who are connected to who they really are makes a much better relationship than two people who are dependent upon each other for that connection. Yes.
I hear you. Let me ask one more question. As I work as a massage therapist, a body worker, and when I do cranial work, I sit down to do my cranial work, and automatically my breath expands and my being expands, and I feel connected to Source right instantaneously. Why is it so difficult outside of that? Why am I making it so? I don't get it. Why it just instantaneously happens when I do my work. And the relationship that I have is what you described. I don't understand how.
Well, first of all, when you are working with someone, the key word here is expectation. So when you are working with someone, it feels like a simpler process because you're not trying to figure out who they are. You're not trying to solve their problems. You're not trying to align with them. You're not even trying to rendezvous for lunch with them. You're just doing your work. So it's easier for your vortex to be wide open. And they're there with some level of expectation, and they are summoning through you. It's just a cleaner relationship with less chaos.
Okay.
Have you had the experience of doing that work with your mate?
Yes.
And what's that like?
Blissful.
So what that means is that you do have the ability to focus upon some aspect of your being that allows the energy to flow, regardless of who the client is that you're working with, yes?
Yes.
So just try to superimpose that over everything. And this is, you ask the question and we'll reflect it back to you. Why is it that I can tune in so easily with this, but other issues seem more difficult? And we say, because you've trained yourself into the expectation of that working the way it does.
Yeah.
Where you have other expectations relative to other things.
Yes.
When you're doing that work, think about what your knowing is. It's just you and source.
Yes.
You're not even factoring in the person on the table, are you?
No.
It's just you and source.
Yes.
But when you're talking about your relationship, we don't hear you talk about source at all. It's you and your husband. And he's a handful.
Yes, he is.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
So how do I maintain relationships with others? By tending to the most important relationship first, which is between you, and then having relationships with others. Let your primary relationship be with who you are. That's why that selfish nature is such a good idea.